I never thought my little secret would turn into something so permanent. It started as a harmless experiment, a thrill I couldn't explain. Alone in my room, the world faded away, and for a few moments, I wasn't just Daniel, I was someone else. Someone freer. Someone beautiful. It had begun with curiosity. My girlfriend, Emma, often left her clothes at my place. One evening, as I stared at the silky red dress draped over my chair, an idea crept into my mind. My heart pounded. Was this wrong? But the more I resisted, the stronger the temptation became. I glanced at the clock. Emma wouldn't be home for hours. Taking a deep breath, I reached for the dress. The fabric felt impossibly soft between my fingers. A rush of excitement coursed through me. It wouldn't hurt to just try it on. Slipping it over my head, I gasped at my reflection. The way it hugged my body, the way the hemline brushed against my thighs, it sent a shiver down my spine. But it wasn't just about the clothes. It was about the way they made me feel. Powerful. Confident. Right. But then, a noise. A soft click from the front door. I froze. My pulse hammered in my ears. Emma wasn't supposed to be back yet. Panic surged through me. My feet wouldn't move. My breath caught in my throat as the doorknob turned. My mind raced. What do I do? Emma's keys jingled as she fumbled with the lock. My heart pounded so hard I thought she'd hear it through the door. My hands shot to the dress's hem, ready to yank it off, but the zipper, oh God, the zipper was stuck. Click. The door swung open. I did the only thing I could. I dived into the closet just as Emma stepped inside. Silence. From my hiding spot, I could hear her footsteps. My breath came in shallow gasps. The scent of her perfume filled the air, mixing with the lingering scent of her shampoo. I clenched my fists, praying she wouldn't hear my frantic heartbeat. A soft thud. Emma tossed her bag on the couch. Then her voice. Daniel. I shut my eyes. She was looking for me. Act normal. She doesn't know anything. After a moment, she sighed. Guess he's not home yet. Relief flooded me, but I didn't dare move. One wrong move and my secret was out. I stayed hidden, heart still hammering. Then something I hadn't considered. Emma needed to change. I peeked through the slats of the closet. She was walking toward the dresser, my dresser, where my clothes should be. Except they weren't, because I was wearing one of her dresses. Oh no. She pulled open the drawer and frowned. Huh, where's my red dress? My stomach dropped. Emma turned, scanning the room. Her eyes landed on the slightly open closet door. My blood ran cold. She took a step forward, then another, and another. Each step felt like a ticking time bomb. She reached for the handle. I braced myself, knowing the next moment would change everything. And then, her phone rang. She paused, groaned, and turned away. Ah, Mom, not now. The moment she answered, she grabbed her bag and walked into the kitchen. I had seconds to escape. But was I fast enough? My breath hitched. This was my chance. Emma's voice faded as she walked into the kitchen, her phone pressed to her ear. I could hear her rummaging through the fridge. I had to move. Carefully, I eased the closet door open, inch by inch, wincing at the faint creak it made. Every second felt like an eternity. My legs trembled as I stepped out, my bare feet sinking into the carpet. The dress still clung to me, the zipper jammed at the top. No time to fix it now. I darted toward the bedroom door, my heart racing faster than my feet. If I could just get to the bathroom, I could change before she... Daniel. I froze. Slowly, I turned. Emma stood in the doorway, phone still in hand, her eyes locked onto me. My reflection was right there in the mirror behind me, the dress, the wig, the lipstick. There was no denying it. Silence stretched between us. Then she blinked. What are you wearing? I opened my mouth, but no words came out. My brain screamed at me to say something, anything. Lying wouldn't work. Making a joke, impossible. Then Emma tilted her head. And to my utter horror, She started walking toward me, step by step, slow and deliberate. "Is that my dress?" she asked, her voice unreadable. I swallowed hard. What now? I could still try to laugh it off. I could say it was a dare, a joke, an accident. But as Emma's gaze swept over me, I saw something else in her expression. Curiosity, understanding, and maybe amusement. Then, the unthinkable happened. She smirked. "Huh. I gotta say, you actually look kind of cute." My jaw dropped. She leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. "So, is this a thing? Or just a one-time experiment?" My face burned. I don't know." Emma's smirk softened. "Well, the dress suits you." I didn't know how to respond. Before I could think of something, Emma took another step forward. She reached out and touched my cheek. "Your makeup's a mess," she whispered. "Here, let me fix it." I gasped. Was this really happening? Before I could react, Emma grabbed my wrist and led me to the vanity. "Sit," she said, her voice firm but gentle. "If you're gonna wear my dress, you might as well do it right." I obeyed, too stunned to do anything else. Emma grabbed her makeup kit. And that's when I realized this wasn't just about me anymore. Emma was getting involved. And I had no idea what that meant for me. Emma leaned in, her fingers tilting my chin up. The cool touch of a makeup sponge pressed against my cheek, blending away my rushed, uneven foundation. My heart pounded in my chest. Was this real? Her lips curled into a smirk as she traced my jawline with a brush. "You're awfully quiet, Daniel," she teased. Not what I expected from a guy caught red-handed in his girlfriend's dress. I swallowed. I don't know what to say. Emma's fingers paused for a second, then resumed. "Well, for starters, you could tell me why you're doing this." That question had been burning inside me for years. I wanted to answer, but words felt heavy on my tongue, like admitting the truth would make this moment too real. So, I said the only thing I could. "I don't know." Emma hummed, as if she didn't quite believe me. She picked up a tube of lipstick, twisting it open. "Maybe you just like the way it feels," she murmured, dragging the crimson shade across my lips. I shivered. She was right. The fabric, the weight of the dress, the way my reflection didn't quite look like me anymore. It felt liberating and terrifying. "There," Emma said, leaning back to admire her work. "Much better." I turned to the mirror, and my breath hitched. I looked beautiful. Soft curls framed my face. The makeup accentuated my features in ways I'd never seen before. The red lipstick made my lips look fuller, more defined. For the first time, I didn't just feel like a guy in a dress. I felt like someone else. Emma studied me, her expression unreadable. Then she smirked. "You know, if I didn't know better, I'd say you enjoy this." I opened my mouth, but then we heard it. A car door slamming shut. My stomach dropped. Emma's head snapped toward the window. "Who the hell?" And then her eyes widened. "It's my mom." My blood ran cold. I shot up from the chair, panic crashing over me like a tidal wave. "What? No, this can't be happening." Emma bolted for the window, peeking through the blinds. "She must have come home early from work," she whispered. "She has a key, she could walk in any second." I nearly collapsed. My heart pounded in my ears. I was still in the dress. My makeup was perfectly done. I looked like a girl. And if her mom saw me like this, there'd be no explaining it away. My hands shook as I fumbled with the zipper, desperately trying to pull it down. But it was stuck, just like before. "Oh God." Emma turned back to me, eyes darting between my face and the door. Footsteps echoed outside, growing closer. She was about to come in. Emma's face twisted in panic. Then she grabbed me. Before I could protest, she shoved me into the closet. "Don't make a sound," she hissed. My back slammed against the wooden wall, my breath coming in sharp, frantic bursts. Through the slats, I saw Emma rush back to her chair, snatching up her phone and pretending to scroll through it like nothing was wrong. Then the door opened. "Emma?" Her mom's voice was way too close. I slapped a hand over my mouth. "Hey, Mom," Emma said casually, not looking up. "You're home early." I heard the rustle of a purse being set down. "Yeah, my meeting got cancelled. What are you up to?" Emma shrugged. "Just messing with makeup." I squeezed my eyes shut, praying she wouldn't notice the open closet, praying she wouldn't hear my racing heartbeat. Seconds stretched into eternity. Then her mom laughed. "I swear, you spend more time doing makeup than actual work. Maybe you should start a beauty channel." Emma chuckled. "Maybe." My chest edged from holding my breath. Then footsteps. Moving away. The door closed. I collapsed against the closet wall. Emma exhaled, then turned toward me with a smirk. That was close. I wanted to scream. This wasn't over. Not even close. I stayed frozen in the dark closet, my heartbeat refusing to slow. My hands were clenched into fists against the fabric of the dress, and my breath came in uneven gasps. That was too close. I had never been more terrified in my life. Emma opened the door and reached for my wrist. "Come on, the coast is clear," she whispered. I stepped out shakily, my legs feeling like they were made of jelly. My reflection caught my eye in the vanity mirror, a girl staring back at me. And that's when the worst thing happened. The doorknob turned. I barely had time to react before Emma's mom stepped back inside. Her eyes immediately landed on me. Silence. Cold. Heavy. Crushing. Her gaze flickered over my face, the makeup, the lipstick, the dress. I couldn't breathe. My mind scrambled for an excuse, any excuse. But what could I say? That this was a prank? A joke? That Emma forced me? It wouldn't matter. I saw it in her face. She knew. And then she smiled. A slow, knowing smile. "Oh," she said, voice laced with something unnerving. "So this is what you've been hiding." Emma stiffened beside me. "Mom, it's not." Her mom held up a hand, stopping her. Then, she took a step closer to me. I wanted to run, but my feet were cemented to the floor. "I had my suspicions," she murmured, eyes studying me like a puzzle she had just solved. "Emma talks about you all the time, and I always wondered if something was different." Her voice was calm. Too calm. My skin crawled. Then she reached for my face. Her fingers brushed against my cheek, wiping away a stray smudge of foundation. "You know," she said, tilting her head, "I think you make a rather pretty girl." I swallowed hard. What did that mean? I shot a panicked glance at Emma, but she looked just as stunned as me. Then her mom turned to her with a smile that made my stomach drop. "Emma, sweetheart," she said, "why don't you get our guest something more appropriate?" Emma blinked. "What?" Her mom's gaze hardened. "If Daniel wants to dress up, let's do it properly." My blood ran cold. Emma opened her mouth, but no words came out. Neither of us had a choice. Her mom's smile widened. And that's when I knew I wasn't walking out of this house as Daniel. Not anymore. The end. Or just the beginning. What happens next? Does Daniel escape, or is this the start of something permanent? Comment your thoughts below.